Alright, so I've tried to do a few more things to kind of make my world look a little bit better. Now I have 5 different ground colors. I've got my green and my gray lava, dried lava. I've got my orange lava. I've got some brown on the mountain and some gray over here for kind of a structure. Still not perfect, but kind of starting to get more of a look and feel of an actual world or a place to go explore and drive around. And I've got some elevations, so it's not all flat. We got some little mountains over here, my volcano area, another little place over here where I think I'm going to try to start a little road off of, but it's starting to kind of look like a world. So the next thing we need to work on is adding objects. There's quite a few different objects you can choose from. They're all under the object tool. It looks like the Kodu character, but there's a lot of other stuff in here. And at first it looks like nothing happens. It's because you've actually got to click a place to put one. So let's say I wanted to put something right here. I've got to click, and then you can see your different choices. You've got your 2 main characters now. You've got Kodu and then this other guy called Rover. And then the other different robots and choices are down here at the bottom. In addition to that, you've got apples, which you can use to do some things. There's quite a few different types of rocks now in Kodu. You've got 4 different tree choices you can pick from. I try to kind of mix it up as I'm putting trees on my world and try to do a couple different options instead of all the same ones. And then some of the other objects. The little castles, little towers are kind of nice. The huts and factories, as well as some other things like coins and stars, ammo or a ball or a heart can all be added. So I'm going to start with just a couple little castle towers. And you can see they're a little bit large compared to my world. So one thing you may want to do for any object, you can right click on it and you can change its size. You can do that just by dragging the bar down. So I think I'm going to try something about that size. You can also change the color of an object just by using the arrow keys up at the top. They don't change a whole bunch, but it does kind of have a little bit of a different look to it. For this, I'll try maybe more of a gray, or actually white, since it still looks kind of gray. And the nice thing with programming, or really most computer programs, is once you get something set, you can copy and paste it. So instead of adding another tower by going back to the object tool, clicking on it, clicking on this selection, clicking on castle, and then having to resize it and change the color. Once you have one the way you want it, you can just right click on it and go to copy. And now I can paste anywhere else in my world. I could paste some more towers, and I could very quickly have towers all over the place. You could do that for coins, or for bad guys, or for anything that you're adding into your world. If you don't know the shortcut keys for copy and paste, Control C and Control V. That can kind of make things go even faster a little bit. So it's not a perfect castle, but it's starting to kind of have a little bit more of a look. These have actually a little bit of a angle to them, a little bit tilted. So that's another one of the changes you can do under the when you right click on it. So if I rotate it, you can see it kind of has a little bit of a tilt. So I'll have them all kind of tilt out. So they're tilting kind of out away from the center. Let's add some trees. So I was going to originally put some trees over here on the side. So I click, grab a tree. I like these big ones. And same thing with size. That's actually not too bad. Your characters will bump into trees though, so if you need to leave room for a character to actually go through, if you want them to be able to walk through a certain space. But I like that one there. I'll throw a couple little ones over here on this side. And maybe one more. And you can just drag on them to move them around. You need to get them to be kind of highlighted in yellow. That means you can move them. And that one's kind of going underground a little bit. So you might need to change the height. And it looks like that fixed it just by clicking on it. You could see how you could kind of add those to your world. All over the place to kind of make it look a little bit more interesting. And again, once you've got some objects the size and shape that you want them, you can very quickly just copy, and now I can go around my world, maybe throw in a few more trees up here in these mountains, paste, paste, put one in there, and I'll do a few of this type, and then a few of the other type as well. Alright, so you can see my world now is starting to take shape. Not only do I have different ground colors and textures, I also have some different objects. There are plenty of different objects you can use. Again, you don't have to use just these ones. In fact, even some of the different characters could be considered objects. Some clouds can look really nice, or some of these other objects or characters you could place in your world. I'll go ahead and throw a couple clouds in there just because I like the way they look. For the clouds, you probably want to change their height so they're kind of up in the air a little bit. Take this one, copy it, maybe throw a few more in there, one over there. Alright, so kind of the beginnings of a world there. Lots of things you could add to it, but that's a good start.